Okay, welcome to the session for InACAC, the benefits of attending a Catholic college, even if you are not Catholic. Welcome to the virtual college exploration for all Indiana students, sponsored by the Indiana Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thanks for joining us tonight. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at inacac.org. That's INACAC.org. And also, this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, inacac.org. And now I will turn it over to presenters, and thank you for joining us.
There we go, let's try that. Good evening, everyone. We are really excited to have you with us today. We've got four great institutions that are excited to meet with you and to share a little bit about our institutions, but more importantly, talk about the benefits of attending a Catholic college. And of course, even if you are not Catholic, that's the point of the session today. And we've got some great experience and some great stories that we're going to share with you today. And hopefully you'll learn a lot about what it is like to attend a Catholic institution, and maybe if this is going to be the right fit for you. We're really excited to share this with you. We've got four great institutions that we're going to be working with today, and a couple of these, give me just a quick moment, there we go. We're going to go over who we are, talk a little bit about some introductions, give you a sense of what the institutions are and a little bit about us, and then we're going to jump into the content. What makes a Catholic institution unique, really kind of what differentiates a Catholic institution from a public institution specifically. Differences between Catholic institutions. What should you ask your admission counselor? We're pretty friendly people, so we want to make sure that you're asking us great questions. I promise we don't bite, and we're going to give you some pointers on what you can be asking us. And last but not least, certainly some benefits of attending a Catholic college or university. And then this is a panel. We've got four great institutions, four great staff members, and we want to make sure that we have plenty of time for you to ask us all the great questions that you may have. I want to make sure we get your questions answered by the end of all this. And by the way, throughout all this, we only have 45 minutes, so we are going to start right away and kind of keep things moving pretty quick. But as was mentioned by our moderator throughout the event tonight, please feel free to put those questions in, and we'll make sure to get to those towards the end. So again, really excited to have you here tonight, really excited to hopefully have students joining us from all across the state. We've got colleges from all across the state, and excited to bring these to you guys. So without further ado, let's jump into some introductions. Catherine, why don't you kick us off for yourself and your school, please.
Thanks, Alex. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight. So my name is Catherine Ficker. I'm an admissions counselor at Holy Cross College, and Holy Cross College is in northern Indiana at Notre Dame, Indiana. And I'm actually a neighboring school to Alex at St. Mary's College, and he'll get to introduce himself soon. But so that's a blessing of being at the university at Notre Dame. We're right across the street from the University of Notre Dame and right down the road from St. Mary's College. So it's kind of a cluster of three Catholic institutions here. Holy Cross College is a small liberal arts Catholic college, and our goal at Holy Cross College is to help each student grow in four ways. We want our students to be formed as scholars, citizens, leaders, and disciples. So there's a rich academic experience with small class sizes. There's opportunities to travel globally, be immersed in global experiences for maybe a global trip for a few weeks, but also travel abroad for a whole semester. We're proud to help our students grow as leaders, and we want our students to have real work opportunities even while in the undergraduate experience. So 100% of our students have a professional internship before graduating. And another goal is to form our students in the image of Christ. So we are a strong Catholic institution, and we want to help our students grow in their faith if that's something they're interested in. So just real quick, I want to kind of hit on these items on the screen that you can see. As I mentioned, we're part of the Tri-Campus, which means with the neighboring schools, the University of Notre Dame and St. Mary's College, we share academic resources, we share recreational and social resources. So students can be across the 3 campuses, kind of diving into different things and sharing experiences. Also, I just want to mention that, as I mentioned, we want to help our students grow in faith, and 74% of our students are Catholic, but you do not need to be Catholic to go to Holy Cross College, but 74% identify as Catholic. 34% of our students are students of color. We are proud of diversity and have diverse clubs on our campus. 22% of our students are first-generation college students, which is something we're also very proud of, and we have a lot of first-generation student celebrations and things like that. Our average financial aid package is over $28,000. So we have a lot of free money and free assistance for you. So please consider applying. Our application is free on the Common App. 100%, as I mentioned, complete an internship. So you get to test drive a career before graduating, and 90% of our students live on campus. Here's a little overhead shot of campus. On the left side of the screen, that's our chapel, and then some surrounding dorms, and it looks a lot like that right now. It's beautiful and fall right now in Indiana, northern Indiana. We have 13 majors and 17 minors. We are a small institution. Our average class size is 15 students, and we have a 12-to-1 student to professor ratio. And at the bottom, those test scores are our mid-SAT scores, mid-50 SAT scores. For right now, this admission cycle, we are test optional given the pandemic. So that's a little bit about us. I don't know if I said this when I first mentioned it, but I'm also an alum from Holy Cross College. So I'm happy to share with you about the experience of being a student, and proud to be an alum of Holy Cross. So great. I think I'm going to hand it over to Ashley Harding now from Marian.
Thank you. I am very excited to be with you all tonight. I am the product of Catholic higher education. For my undergrad, I went to the University of Notre Dame, and then for graduate school, I went to the University of St. Francis, and I am now very blessed to work at Marian University, which Marian, we are a small private Catholic Franciscan institution in Indianapolis. Within Indy, we are located about 10 minutes from downtown. One of the things that we really focus on at Marian is experiential learning. And with our location, we are near the heart of the city, so it's really easy for us to connect students to those types of hands-on opportunities. We are a small institution. We have about 2,600 students total. So our average class size is about 15 students, and then our student to faculty ratio is about 13-to-1. So one of the things that we really focus on is that individual attention. As far as academic offerings, we have 41 different majors and 48 minors, but our top programs are nursing, biology, exercise and sports science, elementary education, and management. We do award 99% of our students receive some form of scholarship or grant from Marian. And we do have some faith-based opportunities for students as well. So we have our San Damiano Scholars Program, which is a program for students who are interested in really exploring their faith, becoming lay leaders in the church. We have Brute, so we do have a seminary, and then we also have a grant for students who have a parent who works full-time for the diocese, as well as some other scholarships and financial aid. As far as our admissions process, we have a free online application, and then a student would need to submit their official high school transcript. For this admission cycle, Marian is test blind, which means that we are not looking at the SAT or ACT for admissions or for academic scholarships. And we do have rolling admissions, so students can apply at any point. However, we have a November 15th priority deadline. So I am going to now kick it off to our next person.
That's me again. Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Alex Bauer. I'm an assistant director of admission at St. Mary's College. It's also in my hometown of South Bend, Indiana. I've been working at St. Mary's for a couple of years now, and I really feel fortunate that I get to work with students from the greater South Bend area. So if you are from the greater South Bend, Elkhart, down through Rochester, kind of north central Indiana, I may be your counselor. I also work with students from the state of Pennsylvania and the state of California. So I'm really excited that I get to work with students from across the country and bring them to St. Mary's. A little about us at St. Mary's. As was mentioned from Catherine, we are right across the street from Holy Cross and the University of Notre Dame. this great tri-campus community, as she mentioned. We are happy to be a part of that. Certainly there's some unique things about us at St. Mary's. We are a small school, about 1,600 students at St. Mary's College. We are also a women's college, perhaps our most unique and distinguishing feature as a women's institution, and proud to be so. From an academic standpoint, why do students choose St. Mary's College? Some of our top programs, I always say they're all good, that's why we have them, but some of our more asked about programs at St. Mary's, nursing is a strong program for us, biology is a strong program for us, elementary ed has always been a flagship for us, psychology is a really strong program, and business are some strong programs at St. Mary's, but really kind of run the gamut of a little bit of everything from STEM programs all the way through visual and performing arts on campus as well. A really active campus environment at St. Mary's, some great opportunities to engage in your faith at St. Mary's College if you choose to, but also Division III, NCAA athletics, club sports, and intramural sports are alive and well. Very much a residential campus at St. Mary's. About 2/3 of our students come from outside of Indiana. So if you are one of those students here in Indiana saying, you know, I'm excited to meet other students from around the nation, St. Mary's can be a place to have that. I think that's really exciting. A little bit of our admission process, like so many of our counterparts here today, we are also test optional and excited to be that way for our students to provide that resource. We are on the Common App, and we are a free application to students at St. Mary's. Very much a holistic review process, not just a test score, not just a GPA. The essay is a really important piece of the application, so make sure you're putting some good time and energy into that essay before you click submit to St. Mary's. Last but not least, financial aid. Lots of great financial aid for our students. 100% of our students are receiving some type of financial aid at St. Mary's. I like talking about the free money the best. That comes in the form of a merit-based scholarship for our students this year that starts at $15,000, goes all the way up to $30,000 for a top performing student at St. Mary's. So quite a bit of funding can be available for students. Want to make sure that it can be an affordable and worthwhile investment in your future at St. Mary's. We do have a 4-year promise that we're really proud of at St. Mary's. Want to make sure you're going to graduate on time. That's great from a life planning standpoint, but also from a financial planning standpoint. I think that's a great thing. Last but not least, if you want to make the trip up to South Bend, we're a short drive from just about anywhere, even down there in Evansville. Come on up. We are open to campus visitors. We are offering those on a limited capacity, but would welcome you to campus either in person or virtually as well. Last but not least, I'll kick it over to Fort Wayne for St. Francis.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. My name is Erika Combs. I'm an admissions counselor at the University of St. Francis. University of St. Francis, we're located in Fort Wayne, Indiana, so up in the northeast corner of the state. Like a lot of the other colleges mentioned here today, we are a smaller school, about 2,200 students in our student body, and that has some really positive effects on our campus life and on our academic life as well. One of which being the opportunity to have smaller class sizes. The average class size is around 15 to 20 students, which means you're going to be getting personal experiences with your professor. They're really going to pour into you as a student, but then also they want to know about your well-being and just who you are as a person. That also means that you're going to get great internship opportunities through our Career Center. They'll help set you up with opportunities to intern, and then when it comes time to graduate, we help students write cover letters, resumes, and then get them connected with potential interviews for potential jobs. Another benefit for a smaller campus size is the community that it fosters. Because we have fewer students on campus, our students are known by name rather than just being a number, whether that be getting involved in intramurals or trivia nights or murder mystery nights or academic clubs and organizations or service learning opportunities. There's a place for everyone on our campus to get involved. And part of the reason that we can do that is because we are a tight-knit community. We like to focus on the whole student, recognizing that students are more than just who they are academically. They're also emotionally, spiritually, all of that matters, and we value that in our students. One thing to note, we have over 60 academic programs in our academic sphere. Some of our most popular programs are nursing, business, radiology, surg tech, as well as education. And like I said earlier, we really we want students to be hands-on in our community. So we're sending students out to do internships so they can get real world experience with what they're learning in the classroom. We also offer athletics. We're part of the NAIA division. So students who have a bent towards that, we give them a place to practice and play the sport that they love, as well as potentially get scholarship money. In addition to a lot of the counterparts in the panel, we also are test optional. So when it comes time to apply, our students just have to submit an online application that is free and takes about 15 minutes to complete, submit a transcript, and then we're able to get them up and going on to acceptance. So it's a pretty quick and easy process. Our scholarships are based on a student's GPA, ranging between $15,000 to $20,000. Those renew annually. And we too are accepting campus visitors in person, and then we also have a virtual option if you aren't able to make it up to Fort Wayne. So we would love to see you on campus, and I think that's about all for St. Francis. So we will now move on to the portion of talking about reasons to choose Catholic schools.
Yeah, so one of the first things that we wanted to examine during this panel is what makes a Catholic college unique. So what differentiates us from other institutions? And so when we were really thinking about what makes us unique, we came up with 5 things. So the Catholic intellectual tradition, having a value-oriented environment, a commitment to service, a holistic support system, and then also having diverse and inclusive perspectives on campus. So the Catholic intellectual tradition is really just examines the dialogue between faith and reason. As a Catholic institution, the curriculum is really going to be just really rooted in this tradition. And another thing is that it's going to provide a framework for how a university or a Catholic institution operates. So one of the things that you will see with a lot of Catholic institutions is that they are very mission driven. So Catholic colleges have a mission, and it really frames how we educate our students and how we also respond to the community. So one of the things that you'll see with the Catholic intellectual tradition is that it is an evolving curriculum, and it's going to be something that really provides that framework for how students are taught and how they are expected to move in the world. But one of my favorite things about the Catholic intellectual tradition is just the intentionality that you see with a lot of Catholic colleges. So because we are really looking at this framework to drive how we operate, it is going to trickle down to everything on campus. So from the majors that we offer, the programs that are offered on campus, we want to make sure that we are being true to our mission and really living that out. The second thing that is going to make a Catholic college unique or different from other institutions is having a value-oriented environment. And what this means is that the Catholic college is going to be guided by a set of values that are incorporated into all aspects of the university, including the curriculum. So at Marian, for example, within our School of Business, one of our Franciscan values is responsible stewardship. And so our School of Business teaches all of our students about financial literacy, because we feel that that is one value that our students really need to have. And so regardless of a student's faith tradition, if they attend a Catholic college, they're really going to be able to benefit from having that value-oriented environment. The third thing that is going to make a Catholic college unique is a commitment to service. And this is a commitment to service that the institution is going to instill in the students. So at a lot of Catholic colleges, there is a commitment to social justice. So students are educated on social justice issues and then given the tools to really go out and advocate and change the world. But there's also that commitment to service from the institutional standpoint. So one of the things that's very important to a Catholic college is also being responsive to the community. So not only do Catholic colleges exist to serve the students, they also are serving the community in which they operate. The fourth thing that is going to differentiate a Catholic college from other institutions is holistic support. At a Catholic institution, we are not only charged with educating the student, we're educating the entire student. So we're really looking at that student from the standpoint of mind, body, and spirit. So that includes making sure that students are taking care of themselves. So self-care is going to be something that's very important. Obviously, the education piece is there, but we also want to make sure that we are forming the students and giving students a supportive environment for them to grow. So that growth is, again, going to be in those three areas. But no matter what institution a student is looking at, they're going to see some support services. But what is really separating the Catholic institutions is that those support services are encompass the entire student. And then the last thing that we identified that's going to really differentiate a Catholic college from another institution is just having diverse and inclusive perspectives. One of the things that I always like to point out to students is just the meaning of the word Catholic. Catholic means universal. So we are welcoming of students of all faiths, and we really are going to provide an opportunity for students to get to know other students, get to know the community, and really kind of explore different standpoints. So one of the myths of the Catholic institution is that you have to be Catholic to go to a Catholic school. That is not true. At a Catholic institution, you're going to encounter students who are different. And we also know that once our students graduate and go into the world, they're going to encounter different perspectives. So we want to make sure that our students are prepared to do that. So again, these are going to be the 5 things that are really going to be different at a Catholic institution than a secular or a public school.
Awesome, thank you, Ashley. So that's some of the differences between Catholic school and maybe another institution. I'd like to talk just a little bit about what are some of the differences between different Catholic institutions. Especially if you are listening to us tonight and you maybe are not Catholic, maybe you've never attended a Catholic institution before at any grade level, you might have one idea of what a Catholic school, of what a Catholic college, a Catholic university looks like. And chances are there's probably a Catholic school out there that matches what you're thinking. There probably is. But there certainly is going to be an institution out there that is far different than what you are thinking. So I really would encourage you to research our 4 institutions. We're all different, but also do some research beyond the state of Indiana as well and look at some different Catholic institutions. I think what you'll find, Ashley mentioned a couple of things that I thought were great. The word mission-driven, value-driven. I think those are some great things that you'll find at a Catholic institution. But we all have the same goal, right? We want to make you a better student. We want to make you a better person. We want you to be successful in your job, in your career, in your life after you leave our institutions. But we have different ways of doing it. We're all fighting the same fight, right? We're all great institutions, but different ways of doing that. Things like that mission-driven that Ashley mentioned, the value-driven that Ashley mentioned. Again, schools are going to have different missions, kind of different sets of values that they're going to be leaning on during your 4 years at any given institution. But again, that same goal is always going to be the same. The traditions are going to be different. The themes are going to be different as you go between the different Catholic institutions. So certainly want to do some research and looking into what are some of the traditions, faith traditions and otherwise between the different Catholic institutions. Requirements and campus environment is also going to be different between the different Catholic institutions that you may be looking at. And what I mean by that is some of the different Catholic institutions, both in the state and beyond, some are going to have maybe some more requirements from a faith perspective, both in the classroom. Some Catholic institutions may require 1, 2, 3 or more different academic classes that you might need to take that are faith-based. Some may have less. Outside the classroom, some may have a chapel requirement or a mass requirement. Statement of beliefs may be required at some institutions and some are not. from a campus environment standpoint, the majority of Catholic schools are going to be a little bit on the smaller side, but there are large Catholic institutions with Division I football programs, and there's some very small Catholic institutions as well. There's some that are in an urban setting, there's some that are in a suburban setting, there's some that are in a rural setting. So again, the difference between Catholic institutions is really varied, not only here in the state of Indiana, but really as you go outside of Indiana as well. One of the examples that I like to give, kind of a quick little story, a way to kind of understand how Catholic schools can be different, but still have that same goal. It's mid-October, early October. We're in the heart of football season. So I like to think of a Catholic institution as, let's equate this to football, in that we're all different football teams right around the country, different colleges are all playing towards a championship, right? They all want to win games. They all want to win a championship, win their conference, let's say. But so it's the same goal, but each one of those schools has different colors, right? Maybe some of those schools run the ball. Maybe some of those schools play defense. Maybe some of those schools you have a little bit more of a throwing the ball style, kind of the West Coast versus the Pac-12 versus the Big Ten, right? Versus the SEC versus an independent in school. They're all playing football. We're all trying to win games, but those schools, those conferences are going to play the game a little bit differently. When they're trying to win the game, when they're trying to win that championship. So that's kind of a good way to think about it as you're looking at different institutions, finding the right fit for you. Each one of our schools that is with us today and around the state and beyond wants you to be successful and wants you to have a great experience on our campus, but it's a different way of doing it. It's all about finding the right fit. So look at our 4 schools and the others, and hopefully you'll find the right fit for you. But let's learn a little bit more and keep on going.
Thanks, Alex. So one way that you can figure out which college, whether that be Catholic or otherwise, is best for you is asking good questions. When you go on a college visit, virtually or in person, one of the most important things you can do is ask those questions that you have, whether that be about admissions, academics, life on campus, or that random question that is just you've always wanted to know the answer to about college. So it's good to ask questions. Today we're going to look at 4 different types of questions that you can ask if you're visiting a Catholic school. Some good things to consider. The first being, what, if any, are the requirements or expectations of incoming students in regards to Catholicism and a practice of faith? Like Alex mentioned earlier, some schools have a higher priority on students' Catholic background. They might require a statement of faith. You might also want to ask about the Mass requirement. Will you be required to attend Mass a certain number of weeks? Will it be optional? Who conducts the Mass if it is offered? As well as, what is your campus like, or what is the campus like in regards to acceptance of other faiths? How well do they incorporate learning about and growing from other faith on campus? So there's some questions to ask in regards to your faith as a student and how that would work into the larger campus environment. Another question you should ask is how Catholicism is incorporated on campus on a larger and a smaller scale. This could be asking about the incorporation of Catholicism into curriculum. Will you be required to take a certain number of theology courses? Will you be required to study about a certain saint or a certain aspect of Catholicism? What does that look like? Do professors normally pray before class? Is that an expectation? Things of that nature. Another question kind of encompassed in that is there clergy or nuns on campus? And if so, what is their involvement? I know at St. Francis we have our Father Zimmer is our president, and then we also have nuns who work in different academic and administration buildings. And I'm sure that other Catholic schools do the same. So just kind of figuring out, what does that look like? How are they involved? And what is the opportunity to maybe gain spiritual mentorship from some of them? Or is there an opportunity to participate in Bible studies or campus ministry on campus? How can you grow your Catholic faith while at school? The third question that is important to think about is, what scholarship opportunities are available for students who might be Catholic or coming from high schools that are Catholic? Some Catholic universities will, quote unquote, reward students who have a background in a Catholic high school, whether that be additional scholarships, merit money. Some scholarships also provide, or some schools also provide additional scholarships for students who are Catholic and profess a Catholic faith. So that's something to consider as well. When choosing a school, we know that finances are important. So learning about what financial opportunities are available to you as a student is really vital when you're making that decision. And then a fourth aspect is just to ask what kind of opportunities there are to serve on campus. Like was mentioned earlier, Catholic colleges do a great job of incorporating volunteer service and community outreach into their programs and into what the campus environment is like. So it's great to ask if there's a certain group on campus that is in charge of community outreach. Are there certain organizations that they offer help to on a regular basis? And if that's something you're interested in, really digging into how could you be a part of that involvement? And then it's not up on the slide there, but a fifth question that is important to ask right now for any university you attend or that you visit is how is that university adapting to COVID-19? What are their visit options? Can you go in person, or is it something that has to be done virtually? Is there an opportunity to speak with current students or professors to gain their insight? And then also, what is the test score requirement like for those universities? I think we all said that our 4 universities have all gone test optional. And you'll find that a lot of schools are transitioning that way, at least for this enrollment cycle. So for this current time, those are some good questions to ask as you're visiting schools or talking to admissions representatives. So I would encourage you to take these questions, tweak them a little bit, come up with some of your own, and then when you're visiting, really dig into what the community is like so you can get a feel for it really well. So thank you, and we will move on to the benefits of attending a Catholic college.
Awesome, thanks. Wow, these are all great. So I'm just like, yeah, amen. All right, that's good. You guys are doing a really good job. So we're going to go over the benefits of attending a Catholic college. And some of this is going to kind of be similar to what Ashley first brought up. It's kind of like hitting home on some of those key points. But first of all, I want to talk about the curriculum, the Catholic intellectual tradition. The curriculum examines the big life questions from not only the perspective of reason, but also of faith. So especially in theology and philosophy courses, you could say faith is a key factor. It's a welcome part of the learning conversation, whereas in other schools that are not affiliated with a faith tradition or religion might not welcome that as part of the learning experience. So the curriculum really examines it from the perspective, examines learning from the perspective of not only reason, but also of faith. Second thing I'm gonna touch on is that it's a smaller learning institution. As all of these panelists have mentioned, our average class sizes are small, looking at like 15 to 20 students there. And that's a really different learning experience than a large lecture hall of hundreds of people or something like that. So smaller class sizes, smaller student to professor ratio, and more of a sense of community. Students are personally known more in a smaller institution. They're more of a name and a face and a person than maybe a long ID number or something. Or so within a smaller schools, you can get to know people and people can get to know you better. Classmates and professors will get to know you. As mentioned, this is very notable with the coronavirus because a lot of smaller schools right now are still able to do more in-person things because of their size to their advantage. Like at Holy Cross College, since our average class size is 14 students, we don't have to change our whole class schedule. We just have students wear masks and spread out the desks and the tables. So it's still working to do our similar structure of learning. We don't have to do everything virtually, which is a really big blessing for the learning experience. The next point may seem really obvious, but I think it's really worth saying that there are opportunities to grow in your Catholic faith. So for those who are Catholic and desire to grow in their faith, there are a plethora of ways to do so and resources to do so. It'll vary at each Catholic college, but there are things like Mass, diving into more of the sacraments, going on retreats or pilgrimages, having Catholic mentors on campus, and having a campus ministry organization you could serve with, you can get involved with. So if you do desire to grow in your Catholic faith, a Catholic college has a plethora and a wealth of opportunities there for you. Similarly, as mentioned before, the term Catholic does mean universal. So Catholic colleges, while they are typically distinctly Catholic, they are also open to all. And you could ask more about that when asking questions. It's just well explained of like what environment is there for non-Catholics, if that's something you're interested in. Another thing that we wanted to address is that a Catholic college, while not all staff and faculty are typically required to be Catholic, it would depend on the different institution, but oftentimes Catholic learning institutions attract faculty and staff that are people of faith. So those people of faith, those professors, are there not only to support you in learning, but also times just support you in growing in a holistic way, growing as a whole person. A lot of our faculty and staff at Holy Cross College are really concerned about, just the general well-being of their students. And so there's again, more of that sense of community, and also just getting to know people is a highly valued. And oftentimes at a Catholic college, you have a lot of mentors. They may be a variety of people, from professors to faculty to staff. And that kind of brings me to my fourth or final point here. I think I have 5, is that Catholic institutions value holistic growth. And this has been mentioned before, but it's really notable that Catholic institutions want to focus on mind, body, and spirit. So formation does not end in the classroom. In the classroom is not the only thing we're thinking about. We're thinking about the spirit, we're thinking about the body, we're thinking about the general well-being. So we don't just want to think about it's not like we're successful if just all of our students get a job after graduation. That's not the only factor. So we're not just thinking about a career or a job or a salary for you, but we're thinking about your holistic betterment, and that you grow in mind, body, and spirit for your sake, and also for the sake of the world. So your gifts and talents can meet the needs of the world. So that's really a different advantage of a Catholic institution, bettering you as a whole. So that's what I have to say about the benefits of attending Catholic college, and I will hand it over to Alex here for the Q&A.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Catherine. I think all 4 of our institutions that are listed here with our contact information for all of us, any of our institutions, I think would enhance your life, and we would, of course, love to have you on our campuses, whether you are Catholic or not. But do we have any questions that are out there? And if so, I know we have just a few moments left, but maybe we can have someone anonymously take those questions and read those out so we can get those answered.
So Alex, there were 2 questions in the chat that I answered, but I definitely want to make sure everyone hears those. So one question was, can I go to a Catholic college if I'm Pentecostal? And then the other question was, do we offer creative writing courses at our institutions?
Perfect. We only have about 2 or 3 minutes left by my watch. I would say, I think certainly for St. Mary's, and I'm certain for all of us, any faith is welcome on our campus communities. So yes, whether it is Pentecostal or any other faith beyond the Catholic faith, yes, you are welcome, and you are able to attend. And maybe we all can just go around and give a quick thumbs up or a yes or no on the creative writing courses. I know that's a thumbs up, that's a yes. At St. Mary's, a lot of great writing opportunities. How about the rest of us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thumbs up for Marian.
Thumbs up for Holy Cross, both on Pentecostals and creative writing, yes.
Yeah, thumbs up on definitely welcoming everyone at different faiths, and then lots of opportunities for those creative minds out there.
Awesome. Ashley, were there any other questions that you saw out there?
There were not any other questions in the chat.
Okay.
Or actually, one just came through. And it is a comment. This person is excited that we offer creative writing courses because they want to become an author.
Perfect. Very exciting. Very exciting. Well, I know our time is just about up. I think one of the things we wanted to do, first off, again, I'm going to leave this up for just a few more moments if you want to jot down our emails. I know we all would be excited to hear from you, whether it be about applying, visiting, or just questions about our institutions. But we each wanted to put something. Do we have the ability to put something in the chat box? We wanted to post a video in the chat box if we're able to do that. And just ask you all, the students out there, to look into our schools, but again, beyond our 4 schools, please look at the other Catholic institutions around the state and beyond. Like I said, we would love to have you. So I think that's all for us at St. Mary's. Really want to thank Marian and St. Francis and Holy Cross. Do you guys have any final parting comments before we wrap this up at 8:45?
No, I think as far as putting a video link in the chat, we might need to put it in the Q&A. Could that happen? I don't see a chat. Can we? Does that make sense?
That does. That was a great idea back when we thought of this, but maybe that won't.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
No, as Alex said, great to thank you all for tuning in. And Holy Cross College doesn't welcome visitors. I think we all welcome visitors to visit campus. So please come and check us out, which is another advantage of a small campus community. We can safely welcome people during the pandemic.
Absolutely. We would love to have any future Cougars on campus. Love to meet you guys.
Yeah, same here at Marian. There are a lot of great opportunities as far as visit opportunities for us, and we are allowing students to meet with faculty, coaches, staff in their areas of interest. So come and check us out.
Thanks, everyone. I think the panel here, we'll certainly hang on till they kick us off at 8:45 here in the next few moments, and we'll hang on for questions if you have any.
If we don't have any other questions, I'm going to go through the closing announcements here. Emily did also add in the chat that she's working on 18 creative stories. So wanted to share that with all of you. It's exciting. Thanks for sharing. Thank you for joining us tonight. Please, if you will, take the 4-question quick survey that will appear when the meeting ends. You're welcome to sign up for more sessions on inacac.org, and there will be recording available of the session within about a week. And so thank you to everyone for presenting, and of course, thank you for joining us. Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.